JBN, we keep you informed. One man arrested, gun seized by cops during chase in Trenchtown. One Springfield 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 16 9mm rounds of ammunition was seized by the police on 3rd Street, Trenchtown, Kingston 12 on Friday, February 1. One man was arrested and charged in relation to the seizure. Charged is 24-year-old Nicholas Coke, otherwise called Wild, unemployed of the above-mentioned address. Reports from the Downtown Police are that about 9:15 p.m., a team of officers was conducting an operation in the area when Coke allegedly ran off upon seeing the police. He was subsequently accosted, searched, and a firearm and ammunition found. Coke has been charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition and is scheduled to appear before the court at a later date. Suspected driver held after hit and run in St. Mary. Police say they've arrested a male driver who reportedly mowed down a passenger in Port Maria, St. Mary, and drove away from the scene on Friday. The incident took place on Warner Street, Port Maria, St. Mary, claiming the life of 47-year-old Othniel Flemings of the Stennett Street section of the parish. Reports from the Port Maria police are that about 6 p.m., Flemings was standing along the roadway when he was hit by a Toyota Probox motor car which did not stop. Police said an investigation was launched and the driver was later apprehended. His identity has been withheld pending further investigations. Getting away with murder. 78% of killings this year unresolved. The hoodlums responsible for the 145 shootings recorded so far this year across communities that fall within the St. Andrew South Police Division are seemingly getting away with murder. According to the latest police statistics, only 19 of those killings, or 13%, have been cleared up. A case is considered cleared up when a suspect is arrested and charged. It was not much better in St. James or Clarendon, where a total of 226 persons have been killed since the start of the year. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF data shows that in St. James, only 18 of the 119 murders have been cleared up, while in Clarendon, 21 of the 107 killings have been given the same designation. These statistics are contained in the JCF's periodic crime review for January 1 to the week ending October 31. Since the start of the year, Jamaica has recorded 1,071 murders, one less than the figure recorded for the corresponding period last year. However, according to the JCF data, only 239 or 22% are considered cleared up. Police investigators in Portland have charged a suspect in 7 of the 9 murders recorded in the parish this year for a 78% clear-up rate, the highest of the 19 police divisions island-wide. The Kingston Central Police was next, filing charges against a suspect in 12 of the 26 murders recorded across the division this year for a 46% clear-up rate. The Westmoreland, Trelawney, and St. Elizabeth Police Divisions, which recorded 67, 25, and 22 murders in their respective parishes since January 1, each had a 36% clear-up rate. Manchester man killed while playing dominoes. A Manchester man was shot and killed as he played dominoes in a brazen daylight attack on Friday. He has been identified as Cornell Whitfield, 38, who resided in Clarkstown. There has been a 29% increase in murders in Manchester this year when compared with the corresponding period last year. According to police statistics, 31 murders have been recorded across the parish since January 1, 7 more than for the similar period in 2018. The Manchester police report that about 11 a.m. Whitfield was among a group of persons playing dominoes when he was surprised by 2 men armed with guns. It's reported that the men who were traveling on foot opened fire, hitting him several times before making their escape. No one else was injured. Whitfield was pronounced dead at hospital. Man charged for shooting cop. A man who allegedly shot and injured a policeman in St. James in September has been arrested and charged. Travis Malcolm, also called Tipper, 24, of Portobello, St. James, has been charged with wounding with intent, the police have confirmed. Malcolm is one of 2 men arrested and charged by police investigators on Thursday for gun-related crimes. The other is Domino Rose, 26, who is facing charges of wounding with intent, robbery with aggravation, illegal possession of gun and ammunition, arising from a home invasion robbery in St. Anne last year. The police gave no details about the incident in which their colleague was wounded, but said it happened along the Portobello Main Road about 2:45 a.m. on September 22. According to a police report, Rose was one of 3 men who kicked open the door to a house in his community and robbed the occupants of cash and jewelry. One of the occupants was reportedly injured after the robbers opened gunfire as they made their escape. Cook shop owner beaten by cop after missing closing time under SOE. A cook shop operator from Loydesville in St. Catherine is nursing several bruises and mulling his maiden court appearance after an altercation with a constable attached to the Shady Grove police station in the Loydesville district. Orville Lyle, better known as Fisher Blue, claimed that the constable used a baton to hit him all over the body during the fracas, which commenced after he missed the 11 p.m. closing time stipulated for businesses under the ongoing state of emergency SOE in St. Catherine. Lyle, charged with resisting arrest, is to appear before the court next month. Lyle said he enjoyed a cordial relationship with the Loydesville police, who, since the SOE was instituted, have been conducting patrols after 11 p.m. to ensure businesses are closed. His cook shop is relatively close to the police station. Hence, the police usually tell him to close and move on to patrol the remainder of the rural community. By the time the rest of the community was patrolled and the cops were heading back to their base, the cook shop would be closed, Lyle explained. He stated that on the night of the incident, the police did something different. They stopped at the cook shop before heading elsewhere, Lyle disclosed. The young constable who did the alleged beating ordered him to close the cook shop immediately. Him just drive down and say, "Close off time now, Blue, so me plug out the light," Lyle said. He further claimed that the officer, without good reason, started to drape him, which essentially means to hold the front of his shirt close to the neck. When me plug out the light and turn round, me feel the officer drape me and say me go arrest me. So me ease him off. Him drape me again and me ease him off again. Him drape me about 3 times and me ease him off. When me realize him start use the button, whop, 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 Lyle said. He stated that after the beating, the officer escorted him to the station, placed him in a cell for the remainder of the night, charged him the following day and granted him bail. Lyle said he went to a private doctor in Lindsay the following day, October 20, adding that he was feeling pain in his shoulders, hips, and fingers. He, however, did not suffer any broken bones. Lyle claimed that the police officer was unusually aggressive on the night in question. "The man deal with me unfairly. The man have something up him sleeve with the way him approach me. He used to support me and me support him. Me wonder if I jealousy I get in the game or something." Lyle is not yet sure if he will report the matter to the Independent Commission of Investigations, which probes alleged abuses by members of the security forces. In the meantime, Lyle said that he has been in business for more than 30 years and he has been at the current location for nearly 2 years. He lamented that this is among the toughest times he has experienced in business, mainly due to the SOE, which has been in effect throughout St. Catherine since September 5. Lyle claimed that the SOE has cut his earnings in half, and the people from whom he takes meat on credit are now being affected. People who hustle at night. The SOE cripple with life and is creating a damage on the economy, he said. Lyle added that while the SOE may be relevant in high crime areas, it is not necessary for relatively peaceful communities such as Loydesville, where people are now reluctant to even host parties on which they depend for a living. Police charged 2 men in Manchester and St. Andrew murder cases. The police have reported that 2 suspects have been charged with murder in 2 separate cases in Manchester and St. Andrew. Patrick Johnson, otherwise called Buju, a 36-year-old labourer of Mayday District in Manchester, was charged for the murder of Jermaine Chin, otherwise called Indian, a 38-year-old vendor and construction worker of Curtin Way in Mandeville, Manchester, who was killed on Sunday, October 27. Reports are that about 5:26 a.m., Johnson and another man armed with machetes held up Chin and demanded money. Chin refused and both men allegedly chopped him to death, then robbed him. Johnson is scheduled to appear before the Manchester Parish Court on Wednesday, November 6, the police said. Meanwhile, 21-year-old O'Shane Bromley, otherwise called Puppy or Ryder, a taxi driver of Lady Higgins Avenue in St. Andrew, was charged for the shooting death of 40-year-old Sean Eddy, otherwise called Starkey, of Grantspan in St. Andrew on Monday, October 7. Reports are that Bromley and 2 other men armed with handguns went to Grantspan Avenue and opened gunfire on Eddy, hitting him several times. Eddy was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. "I just want to move on with my life," said SOE detainee. 2 men whose attorney had claimed that they had been maliciously detained under the state of emergency, despite the court ordering their release, are now free. Attorney-at-law Don Foote had argued that the detention of Romando Kerr and Kevin Miller was unconstitutional and charged that the police's action had sought to circumvent the power of the judge. Miller was released without charge, and Kerr was slated to appear in the parish court in Whitthorne, also in Westmoreland, yesterday. Shortly after 1 p.m., Foote informed that Kerr was also freed without charge. Foote, in an October 24, 2019 edition of The Gleaner, described the detention by the police as wicked and ungodly. Miller, who said he was just happy to be free, said he wanted to rebuild his life. "I didn't do anything wrong, yet they had me locked up for 1 month and 3 weeks, said Miller, describing life behind bars as rough. "I'm not thinking about any legal action right now. I just want to move on with my life." While efforts to contact Kerr was unsuccessful, a relative said that the family was delighted to have him back home after many weeks in custody. "The lawyer was working very hard, but things were just not moving until the story came out in The Gleaner," said the relative. In a bid to curb a spike in violent crime, states of emergency have been declared in 7 of 19 police divisions across Jamaica this year, including the Western Arc of St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.